A 160-pound Cane Corso named Amber was transferred 4 times in 3 years. Too intense, every family said. Too focused, too much. But on the night she snapped her leash and disappeared into the dark at 2:23 a.m., the man who almost gave her up finally understood what she'd been trying to tell him all along. A 160-pound brindle Cane Corso broke her leash at 2:23 a.m. and disappeared into the dark. And the man who had owned her for exactly 11 days had no idea what he was about to find. This is Amber, and this is the story of a dog nobody wanted until the night she proved exactly why they were wrong. Daniel wasn't the kind of man who planned things carefully. He lived alone on a 12-acre property just outside Clarksville, Tennessee, a converted farmhouse with more land than he knew what to do with, and a long gravel driveway that felt emptier every winter. His neighbors' chickens were louder than anything living on his side of the fence. He'd thought about getting a dog for years. He just never got around to it. Then he called Marcus. Marcus ran a small rescue operation out of his garage in Nashville. Not official, not licensed, just a man with too much heart and not enough space, who spent his weekends pulling dogs from high-kill shelters and finding them temporary homes. Daniel had known him since college. They hadn't spoken in 2 years. "I've got one you need to see," Marcus said before Daniel had finished his sentence. Her name was Amber. 4 years old, 160 pounds of pure muscle, with a brindle coat that shifted from brown to black depending on the light, and eyes the color of raw honey, burning amber in the dark. Her original owners had surrendered her at 12 months old, too protective, they said. By the time she was 2, she'd been transferred 4 times, 3 families in 18 months. Each one said the same thing: too intense, too focused, too much. Marcus had pulled her from a kill shelter in Memphis 8 weeks earlier. He'd been trying to place her ever since. "She's not aggressive," Marcus said. "She's just watching, always watching, like she's waiting for something." Daniel drove to Nashville the next morning. He walked into Marcus's garage, and Amber didn't wag her tail. She didn't press her nose against the gate or whine for attention. She just sat there, completely still, and looked at him. Those amber eyes locked onto his and didn't move. He lasted about 40 seconds before he said, "I'll take her." Marcus hesitated. "She's been transferred 4 times, Daniel. She needs someone who won't give up on her." "I'm not giving up on anything. I've got 12 acres and no neighbors close enough to bother me." He was wrong about the neighbors part, but he didn't know that yet. Amber came home on a Saturday. The first 3 nights, she was quiet. She walked the property line during the day, methodical, unhurried, like she was memorizing every inch of it. At night, she sat on the porch and stared into the tree line. Daniel figured that was just who she was. He wasn't looking for a lapdog. He was fine with quiet. On the 4th night, she started barking. Not constantly, not randomly. She would go silent for an hour, then bark 3 or 4 times in one direction. Always the same direction, toward the western fence line where Daniel's property met the old Hargrove Road. Then silence again, then the same 3 barks, like a signal. By the 2nd week, Daniel's neighbor had called twice. Ray Kowalski, retired, lived with his wife and a 7-year-old beagle named Biscuit in a ranch house about 400 meters down the road. The barking was keeping them up, he said. The dog sounded aggressive. He wasn't comfortable with. A dog that size making that kind of noise at 2 in the morning? Daniel apologized. He brought Amber inside at night. She paced. She scratched at the door. She didn't sleep, and neither did he. "I see you haven't subscribed yet, and honestly, that breaks my heart. Hit that button right now, because what happens next is exactly why this channel exists." Then came the night of November 14th. Daniel woke up at 2:23 a.m. to the sound of the porch door slamming. He was out of bed before he was fully awake. He got to the back door and found it wide open, the leash hook on the wall swinging empty. Amber had snapped a 400-pound rated steel clip like it was plastic. He grabbed a flashlight and ran. He found her tracks in the frost, heavy, fast, heading straight for the western fence line. He followed them through the gap in the fence and onto Hargrove Road. And then he heard it, not barking, something else. Low, overlapping growls from multiple directions, the kind of sound that made the air feel smaller. He came around the bend and stopped. There were 7 of them, a feral pack, large dogs, all of them, the kind that had been stray long enough to forget they were ever domestic. They were circling something in the ditch beside the road, something small, something that was still moving. And then there was Amber. She had positioned herself between the pack and the ditch, completely alone, 160 pounds against 7. She wasn't barking anymore. She was still. The way she was always still, that locked, loaded, waiting stillness that people had mistaken for aggression her whole life. The pack leader fainted left. Amber didn't flinch. He tried again. She moved like water, sideways, fluid, cutting off the angle without breaking her line. The pack held for another 30 seconds. Then the leader turned and they scattered. Daniel walked to the ditch and looked in. Biscuit, Ray Kowalski's 7-year-old beagle, a deep gash on his back left leg, shaking badly but alive. Ray came to Daniel's door the next morning at 7 a.m. He had Biscuit bandaged and crated in the back seat of his truck. He stood on the porch and didn't say anything for a long moment. "I've filed 2 noise complaints against your dog," he finally said. "I know," Daniel said. Ray nodded slowly. "She's been hearing that pack for weeks, hasn't she? That's what the barking was." "I think so." Ray looked past Daniel toward the yard, where Amber was doing her morning patrol along the fence line. Those amber eyes didn't stop moving, always scanning, always watching. "She wasn't being a problem," Ray said quietly. "She was trying to warn us." Stories like this are exactly why these dogs deserve better than what they get. Daniel didn't answer. He watched Amber walk the perimeter, the same route, the same patient focus she'd had since the first day she arrived. 4 years old, 4 families, 4 times somebody had looked at that stillness and called it dangerous. Nobody had ever stopped to ask what she was watching for. Being a guardian doesn't always look the way people expect. Sometimes it sounds like a dog barking in the dark at 2 in the morning. Sometimes it looks like stillness that everyone else mistakes for threat. Amber wasn't the problem. She was the only one paying attention. If you've ever misjudged a dog because of how they looked or how they acted, or if you know someone who has, share this story. They need to hear it. And tell me in the comments, would you have given Amber a 5th chance, or would the complaints have been enough to make you walk away? Drop your answer below.